Right, we're on air. Welcome to Politics, episode 10, the big double figures. Woo! Season 2, episode 7. Unfortunately, due to technological issues, we need to now record the end of this show in case one of our computers cuts out so I can edit it all together. So, what a fantastic show we had this week. Whoa.
Really, I thoroughly enjoyed it, mate. It was good banter. Top banter this week.
I think we really excelled ourselves with our in-depth knowledge of what's going on in the world, far more than we usually do. And see you again soon.
Bye.
Bye. Right, now that's out of the way. Time to get on with some stuff. I've been watching the news this week, but there hasn't really been a lot going on.
What are you on about? There's G7.
Yeah, I know, but we don't know any of the details yet. Because, I don't know about you, but I know this podcast is getting big, but I didn't get an invite to the G7, so I haven't been taking notes at the back of the classroom, as it were. So, if you've got some first-hand knowledge, far away.
You know what? I do. And I was invited to an exclusive meeting between David Cameron and Barack Obama today. And I'll tell you what, apart from being a little bit sunburnt, we had some good stuff was talked about, and in particular, Barack Obama still wants the UK to go for the 2% GDP output spent on defence, which is crucial, he says, crucial to the further cooperation between our two, I think, as he put it, great nations.
That was a good impression right there. Brave is a good word as well. Yeah, I've been looking at the stuff of a Labour leadership candidate. Which is incredibly dull. The Labour leadership candidacy stuff. The actual election will be taking place in September 2015, so a few exciting months of that. But yeah, the NATO stuff is big news, but it's Sunday, so we probably haven't been doing much work today. I've just been watching the Women's World Cup and the Canadian Grand Prix. So,
both of which fantastic sporting events. In fact, both on in Canada at the moment.
Well, yeah, exactly. Canada, obviously, the colonies will rise up.
No, they're still part of the Commonwealth. We like them. It's when the Americans start to get a bit too big for their boots. That's what it is.
Get a bit uppity.
Yeah. Well, who's this Barack Obama gentleman telling us that we need to be spending 2% of our GDP on defence? Who is he? Why does he think he has a voice? Oh, yeah.
We should have invited him on the podcast for the 10th episode. I feel like this is a milestone and it's just totally passed us by. But then one of them was the live episode, so this is still only the 9th, normal episode.
Oh, we counted the live election special, the alternative election night.
Yeah, the election special was episode 7, I believe, so series 2, episode 4.
Wow. Fantastic. Okay.
Yeah, obviously the main news has been all about FIFA this week.
Yeah.
It was the main news last week, but it's still, or 2 weeks ago when we last did an episode, but it's still the main news. It's big news.
It really is huge. And I couldn't be happier that Sepp Blatter stood down. I think I said that last week. I think he said he was going to stand down before our podcast last time around.
Yeah, he got re-elected and then stood down the next day.
Yeah.
So I don't know if he literally signed the paperwork to get. I assume it's Sepp Blatter, so I assume he's still getting paid and still getting his pension contributions and expenses, but simply not doing any work. So what Sepp Blatter's done is managed to take his role of barely doing his job and legitimise it even further by officially standing down. The man is a crime genius, or alleged crime genius, we should say.
Yeah, alleged crime genius, alleged. Yeah, no, I think he's done something wrong. But did you see what Jack Warner, who's one of the people at the centre of this scandal, who was a former FIFA vice president, asked to step down because of allegations of corruption and bribery?
I was watching this today. His total bribes are apparently totaling about $10 million US. Maybe in the future, though, of course, they'll be measuring the bribes in Canadian dollars, because Canada's where everything's happening now. So let me just work out what that is in Canadian dollars. I'll just Google it while you ramble on.
Okay. Oh, thanks for saying that I ramble. I really do like these podcasts. You think I ramble? Great. No, and he basically went on online and said, why is it? And it was an article that he'd taken off a satirical news website called The Onion, and he was pointing to it. It's like saying that FIFA scrambles to give the United States World Cup in 2015. So it's like a complete joke article, and he's like, "What?" And he was pointing to it on a video saying, "Why are FIFA so bad and corrupt when we give the US, we're still giving the US this World Cup?" I was thinking, dude, what are you smoking? Like, World Cups come every 4 years. We had one last year. We're not just going to randomly give the United States another World Cup. What is wrong with you? So how many Canadian dollars is it?
Well, the current exchange rate is 1.24, so that's 12.4 million Canadian dollars. And to be honest, I don't think you ramble. I just couldn't think of a good word. But the thing that makes me laugh the most is just like how ridiculous it is. But also, in terms of getting caught out, I mean, we don't know if Mr. Warner was using the Onion article intentionally. Like, we don't know if he knew it was a joke or not. But there have been proper organisations caught out by Onion articles. I think South Korea was one of them. Like their delegates in some sort of official thing used evidence of the Onion. It's like, no, this is completely made up. So I mean, I assume if you are the writer of a satirical thing like The Onion, if your article gets used by genuine officials and delegates of a country, then that's like getting a gold medal. That's like winning the World Cup for a satirical article writer. You can't reach a higher pinnacle than officials thinking your work is genuine.
No, I think you're absolutely spot on with that one.
Yeah, an interesting comment I heard down a pub, and I honestly don't know how true this is, but and I don't even know if I think this is true. Just someone said it, but it made me think. Is that the suggestion was that after all this stuff comes out about FIFA, the suggestion that UEFA might be next in the firing line. And I really don't know what to make of that comment. Like, I haven't really thought of it either way, but it is an interesting one. You think?
I mean, to be honest with you, I think that now that FIFA's gone down this morning, I think UEFA will step up, because I think I don't think they're as corrupt as FIFA, and because FIFA's been surrounded in allegations of corruption and for decades now, and UEFA hasn't. They seem on the surface certainly to be quite clean, and I think I'd be surprised if UEFA were to be involved in any kind of scandal or corruption. But I wouldn't be surprised if the FA was dragged somewhere into it, because the English FA holds a lot of sway globally, and I'd imagine that at some point something dodgy must have happened with regards to the English FA, the Football Association. And I think it serves them right as well, because I like the FA only a little more than I like FIFA, because I think that they're ruining grassroots football for generations, and I think it's wrong that they should hide behind so much money. It's just not. It's not going anywhere. It's just going into the line in the pockets of the executives at the FA, and I think that's wrong. I think the FA, the people who work at the FA, should be volunteers, and I think all the money should go to grassroots football.
I think there is some truth in that. To be honest, personally, I think because of this FIFA fallout, I think there probably will be investigations into UEFA and the FA and comparable organisations around the world. And the thing is, I imagine they will find some corruption, but I imagine that's probably just lone actors. The FIFA thing is, I don't want to use the word institutional, but whatever one stage below institutional is, like widespread.
Systemic or endemic?
I don't know. Those words have specific meanings, and I don't know what those meanings are. But I know that they can only use them in specific circumstances. But you know what I mean. The FIFA thing is just, it seems there doesn't seem to be anyone. The only person who's getting out of this, like not going scot-free, is
Latter.
No, the other guy who was the FBI mole. The guy who looks like a cross between Pickles and Santa Claus.
Yeah, he was proper bad Santa. He had 2 apartments in the Trump Tower, one of which was for his cats.
I know. So he's clearly a slightly odd guy. Because that's a stereotype normally reserved for women, like the crazy cat lady. He's a crazy cat man.
Yeah.
He's groundbreaking. and taking bribes. I assume his cats are eating nothing but whiskers, or maybe even just like actual human food. They just got steak and bacon all the time. None of that dried nonsense.
I love the idea of him cooking a steak for a cat. It's like, would you like it rare?
Yeah, blue, medium rare, well done.
Goes, meow. Okay, medium rare it is then, as normal.
Do you reckon one of the cats kept asking for it well done, and the chef was like, "No, you're ruining the steak. No one has it well done."
I love the idea of meow. Well done.
Yeah, it's a really grumpy cat. Anyway, we should move on from FIFA because we're trying to go for a speed episode. We're celebrating 10 episodes by trying to sack it off because it's quite late. Anyway.
Number one most read news story on BBC News right now. Kate Moss got kicked off an aeroplane. Not just any aeroplane, it was an EasyJet flight from Turkey at Luton Airport. Kate Moss, you are a supermodel. You should be flying around in your own private jet. What in the blooming hell's bells are you doing on an EasyJet flight from Bodrum in Turkey?
To be fair, when I worked at the airport, it weren't on my flights, but I was helping out on one of them. I think it was Tiny Temper just came through, just flying EasyJet because he was going out somewhere. And then on one of my mates' flights, Molly King came through, like not on the system as a VIP or anything, because we did have occasion. I remember doing a flight with Nick Clegg on it once, and it was all like on the system, like make sure this flight doesn't go bad. Like make sure it's not held up by luggage or something. But Molly King just came through one of my mates' flights. So these celebrities, they're not thick. They know how to save money.
Well, you can now on EasyJet flights, you can now book your own seat, and they're saying this is the future. The fact that you've been able to book your own seat on British Airways, Virgin Atlantic, Qantas, who else? Turkish Airlines.
You're listing airlines now, aren't you? Like Austrian Air, Singapore Airlines. These probably exist. Like
the fact that you've been able to do it on those other airlines for so long. And now EasyJet are saying this is the future. Sorry, EasyJet, it was the future 50 years ago. Not anymore. Not because you're on the internet does it make it the future.
Well, the thing is, because if you wanna, you can actually like pay extra to choose which seat you want, or you can just say, "Get me a seat now," and just get the next one in sequential order. So when me and my mate were flying back from France, what we did is just. I got on the phone to him, or Skype, because he was in France at the time, and I was flying out to meet him, and said, right, get online. It was about 2:30 in the morning. I said, right, click get a seat now. She clicked it within a few seconds. We got the seats next to each other without having to pay. And I thought that was very sneaky.
Nice, I like it. But the problem is, if you've
consumer advice there on the podcast.
Yeah, but the problem is, if you'd done that, and you were on like row 8, for argument's sake, you're on row 8, okay, and you clicked on G, and he clicked on row 9A.
Yeah.
You'd have been on either side of the airplane. So that could have gone really badly.
There was a 1 in 6 chance that would happen. No, that's 1 in 5. Something like that. Because we could have been either side of the aisle as well, but yeah, I think it's 1 in 5. But at the end of the day, worst case scenario then is I wouldn't have talked to him in the flight, which was about an hour and 20 minutes, and then I wouldn't really have cared. Because I'd have seen him before and after the flight. When I got back to Luton Airport, I got a Burger King, and that was a highlight of the day, to be honest.
As an impartial program, I'd like to point out other fast food services are available, but they don't.
That's true. I like the way we're anchoring ourselves for a job on a BBC here. I think that's sneaky. I like that. That's good planning. So anyway, we should probably discuss Labour leadership quickly before we get on to celebrity gossip. But current Labour people who put their name forward, obviously Chukwuemeka had put his name forward and then he sacked it off. So there's a lady called Mary Cree, I believe it's pronounced Cree. She's a Labour politician since 2005, member for Wakefield, Shadow Secretary of State for Environment, Food and Rural Affairs. And then Shadow Secretary of State for Transport and now International Development. There's Liz Kendall. She's been Member of Parliament since 2010. She's in the Shadow Cabinet. Shadow Minister for Care and Older People. So that's good. There's a bloke called Jeremy Corbyn, been in Parliament since '83. He is a very left-wing candidate, actually. Writes for the Morning Star sometimes, which used to be the Morning Worker, which is like the sort of communist newspaper that we have in this country.
Yeah.
Edited by a guy called Ben Chucker or something like that. He's a traditional Marxist or something along those lines. There's Yvette Cooper, Member of Parliament since 1997, Shadow Home Secretary, and Andy Burnham, Shadow something or other. Here we go. Shadow Secretary of State for Health since 2011, Member of Parliament since 2001. The only downside of this is, according to the Labour leadership rules, you have to get 35 MPs, like back you, so that's yourself and 34 others, if you want to run for leader. And MPs are only allowed to back one candidate. Andy Burnham's got 51 people supporting him. Yvette Cooper's got 36, she's in. And then Liz Kendall's only got 33, of which Chuka Umunna is one. So she still needs, she's in the running, but she still needs 2 more people to sort of give her the go ahead. Then Jeremy Corbyn's got 11 and Mary Cree's got 8. So I don't think there's not really enough Labour MPs for all of them to actually be able to run. So
I was thinking exactly the same thing. You know, they're going to run out of Labour MPs quite quickly. You know, 51 and 36 were the 2 top ones. Then you're already looking at what, a third of the Labour, no, 2/3 of the Labour people in Parliament who've already put their name down for one week. Why don't they just? What I don't understand is why they don't just go, yeah, we'll find the 35 people they need, and then just go, right, okay, well, now I've got 35 people. You know, let's see how many other people we won't try and court any other people. We'll tell everyone else, well, why don't you go pick someone else? Because I've got 35 to run for leadership. Doesn't matter whether you vote for me, vote for the other person in the leadership contest or not. You know, I think more people should be involved in the leadership contest because it makes it fairer.
They've 232 Labour MPs in total, so they could, in theory, all get it. That'd be split totally equally. There's 46.4 MPs per candidate. But obviously,
44 MP just sitting on the fence.
Yeah, he's. But obviously, if Burnham's got 51, then that's impacting the other figures. So, yeah, I mean, I don't know how embarrassing that is if you run for Labour leader and not enough people think you're even good enough to have a go at running. But yeah, obviously Burnham is way in front there with a number of endorsements, I guess is probably the word. So well, I'll give you the Paddy Power odds as of yesterday, 6th of June. Andy Burnham 4-5, Yvette Cooper 3-1, Jeremy Corbyn and Mary Cree both 50-1, so somewhat rank outsiders there, and Liz Kendall 5-2. Remember, she only needs 2 more endorsements to be officially in, so
yeah.
Strong possibility she could do that. But I mean, I don't really think anyone is going to be particularly blown away by any of those Labour leadership candidates. Unless, I mean, if Jeremy Corbyn wins, who appears to be actually a very left-wing, he's arguably, according to Wikipedia, is arguably one of the most left-wing Labour MPs. He's a member of the Socialist Campaign Group. Like I said, he writes for the Morning Star. He was part of Stop the War during the Iraq War, Stop the War coalition. So, yeah, he's got all the left-wing credentials, but I imagine Labour will just end up lurching back to the centre ground, elect a modern Blairite, and whether they'll do well in the election, I genuinely don't know. But I think they're looking at switching back to a more Blairite ethos.
Yeah, go back from what is currently old Labour back to new Labour, back to old Labour, back to new Labour kind of thing.
I know, it'd be like the artist formerly known as Prince, or the party formerly known as New Labour.
There'd just be a symbol the next election. Just be down as the party formerly known as New Labour. It's just a symbol of hammer and sickle, you know.
Talking of the artist formerly known as Prince, I am very disappointed. You remember this is totally off tangent, but you remember a couple of years ago, the Pope, like, basically handed in his letter. I don't know who he hands it in to, because he's the head honcho of the
Yeah.
Catholic Church.
He hands it to he burns it at an altar or something like that, I don't know.
Smoke signals. I genuinely thought he had done that to set himself up as the ultimate, like, panel show guest or sort of new expert on 24-hour news, because of the artist formerly known as the Pope. I mean, he's the only person on earth who can speak on matter, saying, well, speaking as an ex-Pope. Obviously, the main Pope is a bit busy just poping around in his Pope-mobile, but if you're the ex-Pope, or the artist formerly known as Pope, you can go on chat shows, panel shows, the whole lot. I thought he was going to have a blistering media career, and he just hasn't.
Yeah, it's really disappointing. He's just gone to a monastery somewhere and just sits down and just does nothing.
He's just doing religious-y things. I thought he'd be all over the media.
Could you imagine him on Have I Got News For You? Being taken apart by Ian Hislop and Paul Merton.
It's Cardinal Ratzinger, wasn't it?
Joseph Ratzinger, yeah, Pope Benedict.
They could have gone. Surely they could have gone for Pojo as his media name.
That's his Hello magazine name, not his media name.
Yeah, he'd be a columnist in the Sun after Clarkson. Anyway, we're rapidly running out of time. We need to cover celebrity news. There's been a little bit of celebrity news recently.
Yeah.
I've been checking out heatworld.com. Joey Essex has slammed Victoria Beckham for saying she wants to forget her Essex roots. And to prove that Heatworld apparently has an automated title producer, Vicky Patterson slams Geordie Shore for making her a caricature of herself. So basically, they just like the word slam there.
Yeah.
So X slams Y. It somewhat demeans the word, because slam should be like a serious put down. Zayn Malik's got green hair, so he looks a little bit like the Joker. Just saying.
That's cruel and unusual punishment, but there we go. Saying former One Direction band member now training as mastermind villain come homicidal maniac. Sounds about right.
Yeah, well, I mean, arguably One Direction inflicted a lot of pain and suffering on the world with their music. So, I mean, it wasn't their music, obviously. Someone else wrote it for them.
Oh!
Can't take all the credit.
Oh!
No, One Direction, mathematically one of the most successful bands of all time. So fair play. Someone said, "Do you want to be a pop star?" I'd probably say, "Yeah, that'd be all right. Do it for a couple of years, see what it's like." Someone says, "Do you want to be one of, technically, the greatest pop stars of all time?" I'd say, "Yeah, probably would actually." So,
yeah, I'm not going to say no to that. Yeah, but Zayn did say no to that, and he just went, "Nah, you know what, you're all right, guys. You know, I'd rather go and do a few solo tracks with Naughty Boy instead."
Well, don't forget, because he wanted to have a normal life, so he's released a load of music with Naughty Boy. He just wants to be a more run-of-the-mill pop star, although Naughty Boy makes some good stuff. So I'm hoping Zayn Malik will release a smashing garage album soon.
No, it's all about the new trap stuff. You know, Malik sticking them beats down.
I'd just be like, Malik, 2K16, dubstep ain't dead. Anyway, the biggest celebrity news of the week was obviously the Caitlyn Jenner thing. But, I mean, yeah.
Oh, yeah, of course, yeah. Caitlyn Jenner.
Basically, the surgery's been successful. Well, you know, Caitlyn Jenner seems happy. Carry on. Like, just...
Yeah.
If you want to do it, do it. That's cool.
Yeah, good for her. You know, I'm fully behind that, and fastest person to 1 million Twitter followers apparently.
Really?
Yeah. So you know, really well done that. Vanity Fair cover. You know. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the biggest fallout from it was basically the Snoop Dogg thing, which is kind of hard to make a call on because.
Say it again.
Well, the Snoop Dogg issue is part of the backlash is Snoop Dogg sent out a tweet saying that Akon should have had more media coverage in the week, and he referred to Caitlyn Jenner or Bruce Jenner as a science project, which is obviously that has upset a huge number of people, both
Yeah.
in the transgender community and just general people who's like, well, that's just not on. Unfortunately, the crux of the argument is Aecon has announced that he's going to try and supply. He's basically setting up some sort of solar power company with the intent of supplying 600 million Africans with solar power. So
Wow.
that is incredible.
Yeah.
So you can. So it's kind of weird because you can see why someone might say this should be bigger news than gender reassignment surgery. Because I mean, I guess the most cynical thing you could say is, you know, there's plenty of people who've had gender reassignment surgery. I appreciate this must be the first one to have this much media coverage, and inevitably, when things like this happen in the public eye, it encourages more people who were maybe worried about it, had concerns, to come forward and go through with it or similar things, and it basically gives it a much more positive media light in general, which can only be a good thing because it's obviously going to help. I don't know how many people, thousands, millions. It's going to help a lot of people. But I mean, supplying 600 million people with solar power. I mean, slightly ambitious. It reminds me a little bit of the first week of The Apprentice when they're like, "I'm going to be a multi-billionaire by the time I'm 27." Like, I mean, if he said, "I'm going to supply,"
have 38 pence to my name, you know.
yeah, if he said, "I'm going to supply," you know, 100,000 people with solar power, that would still be an incredible story. But I mean, I like the fact he set his ambitions high. 600 million. That's more than the population of Europe.
Yeah, that's just a huge, huge number. By the way, talking of celebrity gossip, do you know what Acon's real name is?
Is it something really, really bland, like Arthur Penningbury or something?
Oh, it really isn't. Oh, it really isn't. Hang on a second. You're going to have to bear with me for this one. It is Alion Damala Buga Time Bongo Puru Naka Lulu Badara Akon Tian.
That's incredible. I hope you haven't just fallen victim to some like wiki spamming or anything.
Quite possibly. But I was on Wikipedia, but I found that quite funny.
I mean, the only worry I have about that is basic things like form filling in.
Well, no, because nowadays he just has a rubber stamp that just has Akon. Akon.
The thing is, though, Aecon is famous worldwide. So he probably doesn't need to fill out his details anymore. His face is on there. So, but yeah, I mean, basically, good luck to Caitlyn Jenner and good luck to Aecon. 600 million people with solar power. I mean, both incredible stories. So, anyway, we should probably do a second exit now. Ending. So, thank you very much for watching, and yeah, we won't have anything special to celebrate next week either. Bye for now.
Bye.